Welcome back, Nation of Glory. Today, we're bringing you the story of a man who turned his destiny into gold, a man who carries the pride of Mexico in his heart and the fire of greatness in his soul. A story filled with sacrifice, legacy, and determination. This is the journey of Manuel Alfonso Andrade Oropeza, known to the world as Andrade El Ídolo. This isn't just another wrestling story. This is the tale of a warrior born into the bloodline of lucha libre, molded by struggle, and forged by passion. A story that proves that no matter where you come from, your dreams can take you anywhere, if you fight for them hard enough. Let's go back to where it all began. In Gómez Palacio, Durango, Mexico, a young boy was born into a family that lived and breathed wrestling. His grandfather, José Andrade, known as El Moro, was already a legend. His father, José Andrade Salas, better known as Brillante, carried that legacy into the next generation. So from the moment Andrade took his first steps, the wrestling ring wasn't just a dream, it was destiny. While most kids played in the streets, Andrade grew up watching his family train, bleed, and sacrifice for the love of lucha libre. The sounds of the crowd, the rhythm of the mat, the smell of the arena, that was his childhood. But don't mistake destiny for ease. Even with his family's legacy, nothing came easy for Andrade. He had to earn respect in a world where bloodlines meant little if you couldn't fight for yourself. At just 13 years old, Andrade began his wrestling journey under the name Brillante Jr., paying tribute to his father. Imagine that, a teenager, barely old enough for high school, stepping into a ring full of grown men. But Andrade wasn't afraid. He carried the pride of his family name and the hunger to prove that he was more than just another kid chasing fame. He wrestled in small towns, in front of crowds that sometimes numbered less than 100. Dusty gyms, low pay, and long nights, that was his reality. But he never complained. Every bump, every bruise, every fall, it all made him stronger. He was building something that would one day take him to the world stage. As he grew, Andrade caught the attention of wrestling fans across Mexico. His speed, style, and charisma were unmatched. By the time he joined CMLL, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, one of Mexico's most respected promotions, people started realizing this young man wasn't just another wrestler, he was something special. Under the mask, he became La Sombra, the Shadow. And with that name came power, mystery, and dominance. La Sombra wasn't just a performer, he was a phenomenon. Fans loved him for his athleticism, his elegance, and his pride. He fought legends, captured titles, and brought honor to his family's name. But one of the most defining moments of his early career came when he faced one of the biggest stars in Mexico, Volador Jr. Their rivalry became one of the greatest in lucha libre history. It wasn't just about victory, it was about legacy. About proving who was the face of the next generation. And then came the night that would change his life forever, the night he lost his mask. For a luchador, the mask is sacred. It's not just fabric, it's identity, pride, and tradition. Losing it can feel like losing a part of your soul. When Andrade, as La Sombra, was unmasked in front of thousands, he stood tall, showing his face to the world for the first time. Many thought it would break him. But instead, it transformed him. That night, La Sombra ended, and Andrade was born. He didn't hide from the world anymore. He embraced it. He took off the mask and stepped into a new chapter, one that would soon take him beyond Mexico's borders. His talent caught the eyes of scouts around the world, and before long, WWE came calling. It was the chance of a lifetime, the global stage. But even then, the path wasn't easy. Andrade arrived in WWE with little English, no familiar faces, and an uphill climb. But that didn't stop him. He joined NXT, a proving ground where the future of wrestling is born. And there, under the guidance of legends like Triple H, Andrade began to evolve. He dropped the La Sombra name and became Andrade, Cien, Almas, the 100 Soul. A symbol of perfection, confidence, and power. But even with his skill, fans were slow to connect with him. The language barrier, the new environment, it all tested him. Many would have quit. But Andrade wasn't built to quit. Then came someone who changed everything, Zelina Vega. Her presence became the spark that ignited his fire. Together, they became one of NXT's most dangerous duos. She was the voice, he was the power. And suddenly, Andrade became unstoppable. His matches became works of art. Every move was smooth, every strike crisp, every story emotional. Then came the night when Andrade faced Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. And in one of the most unforgettable matches in NXT history, Andrade did the impossible, he won. He became the NXT champion. That moment wasn't just a victory, it was validation. A boy from Durango, Mexico, had climbed to the top of WWE's rising stars. He stood tall, holding gold, representing his people, his family, and every dreamer who ever believed they could be more. But the story didn't end there. Andrade made his way to WWE's main roster, and with it came both triumph and turbulence. He had everything: skill, charisma, championship gold, and a global fanbase. He won the United States Championship, proving that he could stand toe-to-toe with anyone. But behind the scenes, things weren't always perfect. The schedule, the creative direction, the constant pressure, it all began to weigh heavy. Andrade wanted more than fame, he wanted meaning. He wanted to tell stories, to represent his roots, to perform at his best. And sometimes, that dream clashed with the reality of the system. After years of ups and downs, Andrade made a bold decision to walk away. It wasn't easy. Leaving WWE meant leaving comfort, money, and status. But it also meant reclaiming freedom. He wanted to show the world who Andrade El Ídolo truly was, not what someone else wanted him to be. And soon, a new door opened: All Elite Wrestling AEW. When Andrade made his debut, the crowd erupted. The swagger, the confidence, the intensity, it was all there. AEW gave him the platform to be himself again, the artist, the warrior, the idol. In AEW, Andrade brought his unique style, the perfect fusion of lucha libre and American wrestling. He reminded fans that true talent doesn't fade, it evolves. His matches with top stars like Kenny Omega, Pac, and Cody Rhodes proved that Andrade was a world-class performer, one of the best in the world. But what made his AEW run truly special was his story. He wasn't just fighting opponents, he was fighting expectations, proving that success isn't about where you work. It's about what you bring to your work. And now, as part of the Don Callis family, Andrade stands tall once again, not as a shadow of anyone, but as a leader. As El Ídolo, the idol, a name that means more than fame. It means inspiration. It means pride. Every time he steps into the ring, you can feel it: the fire, the elegance, the artistry. He moves like a dancer, strikes like a storm, and fights like a man who refuses to surrender. Because for Andrade, wrestling isn't just a career, it's life. It's blood. It's everything. He carries Mexico in his heart, his family in his soul, and his legacy in his hands. He's the bridge between old-school lucha libre and modern wrestling, the man who honors the past while shaping the future. And that's what makes Andrade so special. He's not just a wrestler, he's a storyteller. Every match, every move, every glance tells a story of passion, pride, and perseverance. From the dusty gyms of Durango to the bright lights of AEW, Andrade has lived 1,000 lives, and every one of them has led him here. People sometimes forget that behind the glamour and glory, there's a human being. Andrade has faced heartbreak, loss, and doubt. He's seen doors close, opportunities vanish, and critics turn against him. But through it all, he's never lost faith. He keeps walking forward, not because the path is easy, but because his spirit refuses to break. And that's what inspires millions. Fans see in him a reflection of themselves, the fighter who keeps going, even when the odds say no. The man who doesn't chase fame, but legacy. The warrior who stands for something greater than victory, pride. And now, as he continues to dominate AEW, Andrade El Ídolo's legacy grows stronger every day. He's not just chasing titles, he's chasing immortality. The kind of immortality that lives in the hearts of fans forever. From the boy with a dream to the man who became an idol, Andrade's story is proof that greatness is earned, not given. That even when the world tells you to stop, you keep going. Because when you have passion, nothing can stop you. And that, Nation of Glory, is why we celebrate him today. Andrade El Ídolo, the pride of Mexico, the elegance of lucha libre, the embodiment of resilience. A man who carries not just a name, but a legacy. He's walked through fire, through criticism, through heartbreak, and every time, he's emerged stronger, sharper, greater. His story isn't over. It's still being written, match by match, moment by moment. So the next time you see Andrade step into that ring, remember this: you're not just watching a wrestler. You're witnessing a legacy. You're watching the story of a man who refused to be ordinary. A man who became El Ídolo. And as long as wrestling lives, his name will echo, not just in arenas, but in hearts. Because Andrade El Ídolo isn't just a performer. He's proof that dreams don't die, they evolve. Thank you, Nation of Glory, for joining us on this incredible journey of passion, pride, and perseverance. If Andrade's story inspired you, if it reminded you to keep fighting for your dream, then show your love. Hit that like button, share this story with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Nation of Glory for more stories that celebrate the power of spirit, struggle, and success. Until next time, remember, every fall is just a step toward your rise. This is Nation of Glory, signing off. Stay strong, stay legendary, and always, fight for your glory.